welcome to Handicapable. I'm your host, Jake Yarbrough. I'm here with my co-host.
Chris Waldeck. I didn't forget this time.
Dude, that's 2 times in a row you were able to remember. Yes, we are making progress.
Yeah.
But,
My autism meds are working.
The autism meds are working. Oh, man. Guys, happy 4th of July. I mean, it's technically we're recording the day after. I know we're gone for about a week. Just things kind of got a little hectic the last week, if you could say. It was a lot of head-hitting stuff, if you know. But yeah, basically
we kind of just toppled a little.
Yeah, toppled a little bit. Okay, guys. And you know what? I think that's gonna be what we're gonna focus on is what caused the toppling. Alcoholism, everybody. Yes, that is correct.
Cheers.
Cheers. Alcoholism. Anyways, so basically, guys, I fell and busted my face on Friday.
Ouch.
I didn't need to go to the hospital, but I did need to super glue my eyebrow closed. I MacGyvered it.
Jesus Christ. Super glue, man.
Yeah, super glue, man.
Tell me it was at least organic super glue.
I mean, any glue's organic. It comes from animals. that right there, that was Seabiscuit. But yeah, guys, I fell over and busted my head open, and it was because I drank way too much, guys. And I do have a tendency to get a little out of hand from time to time drinking. Am I right, Waldeck?
Yes, and I don't mean that condescending. I mean, I've had my party days too. I'm probably not as bad now as I was back at Florida State University. I was falling out at Florida State University. It's a party school, football school. So when your football team's winning, you're drinking. Basically, that's how it goes.
Yeah, pretty much. And I've been trying not to drink as much,
You've been doing a lot better, actually.
Yeah. I just had I had 3 shows back to back. It was Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and then I went to the Dirty. And I just at the Dirty, I still was drinking. So, oh my God, Bruce. My cat is just mounting up a storm right now. I don't know why. Anyways, so hold on real quick. I'm gonna just have to do this. Sorry about that, guys. Bruce, for whatever reason, was just mounting off a storm, and I had to see what he wanted. I think he was surprised when I walked around the corner. Actually, I walked around the corner and he was like, "Oh shit, there's someone here!" And he ran off into the room. So I just closed my door and was like, "Okay, Bruce, you got food and water in there. You should be fine." But yeah. Alcoholism, guys. It is a serious thing. I personally have actually gone through programs myself. What's the longest you've gone without drinking?
About 3 to 5 years, actually.
3 to 5 years?
Yeah, 3 to 5 years, because I stopped drinking after FSU just because I was partying way too hard. And then, actually, no, it was about 7 years. 7 years I went off without drinking, and then I started just because I felt like I could mediate myself a little bit better than I did back when I was at Florida State University, because I was insane at Florida State University.
Oh, I got you. I think so. The longest I've gone has been 9 months. 9 months.
That's not bad.
Yeah, and there's several programs that it really depends on. I noticed that can help, programs that'll help out, but it really depends on the person. On it varies from person to person, because you know about the 12-step program.
Yeah, 12.
Right?
There's 12 steps. That's the one that a lot of people like to go to. 12 steps, and sometimes it's 200 steps. Sometimes it's 1,000 steps. Sometimes you just trip. No, that's literally
and that's the thing too. Is was it like me? I'm not a big religious person, so I don't really like the 12-step program a lot of times.
Yeah, I know they've started to kind of advocate more now, let people know that they're kind of not really, that you don't have to be religious to do it and stuff. They're starting to kind of more they're starting to go more kind of more moderate in tone and stuff, which is kind of a big help, because everyone needs it, whether you're religious or not. If you have a problem, it's a good place to go, so it's,
because that's the thing is I guess they started to realize oh hey, we could be oh hey, hand over the will to Jesus. And it's like, that's why these people are here. They gave the will over to Jesus while they were drunk, being like, yo, get me home. Like, you know,
Yeah.
it's just like, yeah, not only that, but it's like Jesus, literally, he's like, my blood is wine, you know, like,
It's so hard to so hard to steer when your hands are nailed down. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, man. And then, I think the most interesting program I ever got into was this. It was like a aggressive outpatient program
Mm-hmm.
where I had to spend about 5 to 6 hours a day, pretty much a job. Um, but it was online because it was during COVID.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so you would be in the class for about 5 to 6 hours a day, and like group therapies and stuff, and talking to everybody and going through certain exercises and stuff. Um, but it was like through like a webcam, just like how we're recorded right now, and you'd have the whole meeting like that, which I didn't mind at all because I was like, look, I'm really just trying to cut back on my alcoholism, but not my weed.
Oh yeah.
You know, I was like, I like to smoke weed. All right, I'm going to keep smoking weed.
Yeah.
And it was through the VA, and I remember the counselor was like, look, that's fine. Don't do it in front of everybody else because there are people here. Substance abuse,
Oh.
you know? So what I would do is I would just turn off the camera and mute the mic whenever I went to go hit the fucking pipe.
Yeah.
You know, just be like, hold on, my cat's getting ridiculous. Bloop, bloop, and then just, oh yeah. And then get back to it and be like, all right, we're ready for this.
You come back and you're like, I got a hot take for you.
Yeah, I got a hot tape for you. Yeah, exactly. Oh my god, that was in secret setting.
Yeah, I actually tried some. I went to like this little 4th of July bash, like at my buddy's house before I did Las Vegas Live, and he gave me 2 edibles, and I must say, like, he's kind of been slowly introducing me on, like, marijuana and stuff.
Yeah.
It definitely improves with your focus and your sleep, especially. It just chills you out, but it's like. Yeah, like me, like I know that I have like a high tolerance and stuff because, like, it's like very hard for me to get like the physical high from it and stuff. So
Yeah.
it's like, I mean, maybe it's because I'm on Ritalin or whatever, but like I don't know, like I probably should not have said that, but like, but whatever. My I don't think my psychiatrist is watching this. So
I highly doubt your psychiatrist is like, let's see what Waldeck's up to today.
he's doing a podcast. This is the start of the problem.
This is the start of the problem. Yeah, exactly. So, but yeah, no. Let's see, because like there's also just like, there's like the regular outpatient one, which is pretty much you just go to like, it's like AA meetings.
Yeah.
And then they have inpatient, which is pretty much rehab. And,
Oh yeah.
But they got like 2 different versions of that. They got one where you are you get to stay at your own home. You know, it's like yeah, they have things they gotta do, but they still need to get a handle on this. And then they have the ones where it's like, no, you need to be watched. So they have you stay in their facility. But yeah, I actually I'm getting back into the outpatient one. So yeah, these are like gonna be a couple of my last couple of drinks before.
Oh, nice, man.
Before
proud of you, dude.
Thank you. Before I have to do all this. Because I was like, you know what, I could do this right now. But I also was like, the 4th of July is coming up.
Yeah, enjoy a holiday. It's
Yeah,
like me, like I decided pretty much for like, the 4th of July, I basically said I was going to have like, some drinks and some beers that weren't keto. And now as soon as like, tomorrow hits where I start work again, I'm going back on keto. So that way I can like get rid of the weight I put back on and stuff already. So it's like, and then eventually go on a real diet, which is like, or a responsible diet is like what I like to call.
Right. And that's the thing, guys, is like you I get it. Addiction is hard, especially with alcohol. Alcohol, it's just everywhere, right? Like,
Oh yeah, alcohol, food addictions, all kinds of shit.
well, yeah, alcohol is very rarely available. It's part of our culture. It's so ingrained. Like, you look at commercials and shit, fucking movies,
Yeah,
TV.
weed's actually better for you than alcohol, which
Yeah,
is
it is. It is. That's why I'm gonna still do weed.
oh yeah,
I'm just gonna like go to these meetings and stuff and classes to try to like, like
yeah.
I'll probably gonna do like, look, I'm not gonna lie, I'm probably gonna drink again, but it's gonna be like, hey, I'm trying to do like a cleanse kind of thing.
Yeah, like a moderate amount, like
Yeah, I'm
just
gonna try to do a cleanse and go as long as I can. But like, it's hard because it's everywhere here.
yeah, just buy O'Doul's.
Yeah, bioduals. Yeah, that's true. That's true.
O'Doul's, or actually, in my opinion, Lagunitas hop water. Like that one is,
Oh yeah.
it's pretty good. It's basically just like a hoppy beer. It's non-alcoholic.
Well, and
It's
that's
it's
one of the things too is you got to find like something to substitute it.
oh yeah,
Like what you got? The one I did the longest time where I did like 9 months. Tobo Chico.
Hobo Chico. Is that like water?
It's like a mineral water.
Yeah.
Like a sparkling water.
I used to be
And-
addicted to sparkling water.
Oh yeah, but it comes in like a glass bottle.
Oh yeah, I know exactly what you're talking
Yeah,
about.
so it was like one of those things where you get the feel of it and everything, and then when you're drinking it, it also like since because of the fizziness and everything, it you can't just chug it. So then, you're just slowly sipping it, and then you're like, okay, I don't need a beer, I got this.
Yeah.
Because that's the thing is like there's different type of alcoholics out there. That I've noticed. Like you got your I need to have this like every waking moment of the day.
Yeah.
And then you have like, oh, I'm a closet alcoholic. Where it's like I could go for a long time without drinking, but as soon as I have one, it's never just one, like 24.
It's about 24 rounds of blackjack.
Yeah,
That's how point.
and that's the thing is I'm a closet alcoholic. I like at home I don't really drink, I don't really drink when it's just me hanging out. A lot of times I'll go out to a bar for like open mic or something,
Yeah.
right?
That's usually when I drink too.
And it's like, oh man, I want to help out and support, right?
Yeah, support the venue.
Yeah, so you get a beer. But then I'm a closet alcoholic. So if I have one, all of a sudden I'm like, no, I need 24.
Oh Jesus.
Yeah, exactly. So it's one of those things where it's just like, man, but if I can just make it without having one, we're good. But you still want to show your support. So then I might get a catch-22, I feel almost, of like, do I get one or do I just not support the bar,
Yeah, I mean, I know like you can probably just buy like a bottled water or something like.
Yeah,
'Cause,
I
like-
kind of wish like there was like bars that will be like, yo, we got non-alcoholic special drinks, like specialty drinks where they can mix them and stuff.
Yeah.
Um,
They do, I think, actually at Free Zone or
Reason, really?
yeah, I think they do have some kind of non-alcoholic mixer.
Yeah.
I know it's surprising, but
Well, there's a dude I was started watching online, and he'll make these alcoholic drinks, but then he'll make a non-alcoholic version of it.
nice.
Yeah, and I was like, bro, that's a great idea. Like, can you imagine if bars did that more? Then there'll be less people. I mean, of course, people are gonna be like, oh, hey, I want an alcoholic, fuck it. But if you just had the non-alcoholic versions, it
Ki-
tastes
ki-
just as good.
Kind of like how Coke has 0 sugar,
But yeah, you know what I mean? Like, because then that gives people the option. Then it's just like, are you gonna succumb to the alcoholism or not?
Yeah.
Because if I know that there's some place that would have like, oh hey, we have like, fucking like Long Island's, but without the fucking alcohol, but it tastes just the same as a Long Island with the alcohol,
Yeah.
then I would be like, dude, give me that. First, I'll be like, is it, and not only that, but it also make sure it's cheaper.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Because if it's gonna be the same price, then all of a sudden it makes the alcoholic is gonna be like, well, if it's the same price, I might as well go with the fucking real deal,
Yeah.
But yeah, that like, I think what I really want to focus on is just like, yeah, there's ways of getting around your alcoholism, like especially in this day and age where it's like so readily available, like especially here in Vegas. Vegas, it's everywhere. It's 24/7.
Yeah.
Like it's so
And the
ridiculous.
casinos, like, they comp you with the drinks the more you gamble and stuff too.
Oh yeah, yeah.
To keep you at the tables.
Yeah, yeah, no, exactly. They get you like that. Okay,
Got me addicted to Keno.
got me addicted to Keno.
I gotta save my money so I can get addicted to poker.
Yeah, see, that's what you need to do.
Yeah.
But yeah, like what is it? I'll be at the craps table playing
Oh,
some
shit.
craps, and bro, I have like,
I've never played craps before.
oh man, it's one of those ones that you just there's a way of doing it. But yeah, there's at the same time, it's like I'll have like 12, 13 drinks at the table before I know it. Because when you're on those actual tables,
Yeah.
those waitresses, they come by and they get you drinks like that.
Oh yeah, I won money on Keno and then I ended up giving it back.
Yeah, well, that's the thing is it's like because like when you're at like the slot machines and stuff, like have you ever noticed if you're at a slot machine, it takes them fucking forever to bring you a drink?
Yeah.
Well, then if you're on the table, it's like 5 minutes.
Yeah.
You know,
Because those are the
yeah, and that's one of the things is it's just like, oh, so I tend to try to stay away from the tables now.
Oh yeah.
Because then I won't be getting comped drinks much.
Yeah, the unfortunate part is the machines are rigged.
Yeah, that's another thing too. The machines are rigged.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think there's just like there's different ways of like coping with alcoholism, and like you can even if you're an alcoholic, you know, you could still like like there are some people that are able to still be functioning alcoholics. You know, I think everyone really feels that way.
Mark Normand.
Yeah, well, where it's just like, okay, I know how to like pace myself and everything and have enough willpower to say no.
Yeah.
You know, then there's some people that are just like, yeah, no, you shouldn't drink because you can't say no. You know?
Yeah.
And it like those are the ones I really feel for. They're the ones like because I've been to meetings and stuff and everything where I will hear somebody talk about like, no, I need this. You know, I had a friend of mine who was like, she was just like, no, I need to drink so I can go to sleep.
Oh Jesus Christ.
Like I've never gotten that bad. I've never been like, oh no, for me to sleep, I need to have like a ton of alcohol before this. I gotta be drunk, go to bed. You know? No, I sleep all the fucking time. It's called weed. But at the same time, it's like, yeah, no. I feel like you know, those are the ones I feel for the most because those are the ones that really, really like they need the help. They do need the help and everything. You know, and sometimes they feel like, oh, I'm gonna be talked down to for going into it because there's some people that will like they'll be like, no, I never would ever say something negative to somebody about their alcoholism if they're getting help.
Yeah.
You know, and it's just like, yeah, but then you still treat them differently, which then makes them feel shitty. You know, like, oh, I'm so glad you're fine. You know, it's been a long time waiting. Like you're treating them like a baby,
Yeah.
pretty much, just being like, "Oh, look at you," blah blah blah,
Yeah.
and then it's just like, "Yo, stop babying me. I'm a grown ass man."
Yeah, exactly. And you know what it actually kind of reminds me of? How I was treated like before I kind of like, found out I was really diagnosed with like, autism stuff. The craziest thing was like, before it, like people all the time they were saying like, oh, like, you should just be autistic. You're autistic and like, all kinds of other stuff. And as soon as I like, just came out with it, they were like, "Oh, he's normal. He's totally normal." I'm like, "What the fuck? You guys were literally just like, making fun of me like the whole time."
Yeah, yeah,
before."
no,
And now,
exactly.
and now all of a sudden, it's fine. It's like that's the crazy. It's the craziest part how people just change. Like
Yeah.
it kind of reminds me of like the alcoholism. Where they're like, "Oh yeah, we all knew we had a problem and stuff." It's like really because you were telling jokes about it like the whole time.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. And it's one of those things that's like, okay, you could be supportive without fucking being like, oh, because there's the two different types of like people when it comes to like you getting help with things. They're the ones that are just like, oh, woe is you, And then there's the ones that are like, so how's things going? You know, they actually talk to you about it. You know, actually, so if you have friends that are going through that, don't you dare treat them like, oh, woe is you kind of shit. Just do the fucking like talk to them about it, being like, hey, how are things going? Be supportive that way. Because then that shows them more like that shows that you actually care. The other thing is just like, oh, you poor baby, because then you're trying to make it makes them feel like you're just trying to make yourself feel better, being like, I'm so normal.
Yeah.
You know, it's just like, yeah, don't do that. That doesn't help anybody. In fact, that's gonna turn them into drinking alcohol again. You know, like that's pretty much with anything, really. Like
Yeah.
if someone's going through something and everything, you know, especially when someone's like, "Oh, I'm so sorry, you have to deal with this." Don't be sorry. You don't have to deal with this. Like, like other than to like say like, "Hey, man, how are things going?" You know,
Yeah, that's
like
the best way to do it. That's
like
what,
like like doing active listening
yeah.
compared to like just like, oh, because it's just stupid.
Yeah,
Um,
my buddy, one of my stock trading buddies who recently like moved to Vegas and stuff. He always does that all the time. He always starts the conversation about like how are you doing? He's always like checking up on me, making sure I'm good.
yeah.
Because cause the pandemic fucked me up, like just with all the stuff I had to go through, like just between like not getting my PUA for like 9 months and just all kinds of like
Oh
other
yeah.
shit. Like I was going through depression. I was off my meds. I was like just he always checks in on me just to make sure I'm just doing good. And especially now that I'm finally getting the help I needed.
Oh
It's like
yeah. That's the thing is it's just like, okay, you know, there's like that's the one thing. It's like we want so whenever you're getting help, you want someone to be supportive and someone that is actually there and trying to understand what you're going through, because you already feel secluded and alone because you're like, oh, I have to go get help for this one thing because it's not normal. Then next thing you know, again, if someone's trying to re you know revalidate that, like, hey, I know you're going through something. I want to understand what you're going through, so
yeah.
then that way you're not alone in this.
Oh yeah.
While the woe is me is more of like, yeah, woe is you because you're all alone. You know what I
Oh
mean? And
yeah.
it's just like, why? Why are you doing that? That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, no, like it's just such a ridiculous thing, you know. But
Yeah. Be,
yeah.
yeah, it definitely is. But it's also an interesting thing because we mentioned alcohol. We have to talk
Mhm.
about Vegas now, and just like,
Yeah,
especially the stuff that's been going on 4th of July. You must have seen the spear, right?
yeah,
The massive spear, and like all
yeah.
those colors. Let's see if we can pull that up, like the
Oh yeah,
spear.
yeah. The spear. Hold on, let me see if I can't do that. Las Vegas, 4th of July.
Yeah,
But yeah, so I think I got it here. Ooh.
I'm not gonna lie. This thing in one day went from a running joke being the coolest shit ever. Like just seeing this thing, like.
Yeah, hold on. Yeah.
Like, because before I basically said it was Vegas's version of a Chinese air balloon just ready to burst from
Oh yeah,
bankruptcy
yeah.
or something.
I
But this
feel
thing
you.
is cool as shit. What it can
Yeah,
do,
I was seeing the stuff, you
and
know.
that's just the exterior. Like, I can't even imagine how cool the interior is.
Yeah, so here we go. We got this. Hold on, let me. Got desktop sound. Upload. Oh,
Turn it up. Turn
turn
it
it
up.
up. Yeah. Let's see. Uh, Loading it. This is from the Channel 5 News here in Las Vegas.
Shout out to Channel 5 News. If you
Yeah,
guys
yeah.
have any open positions, I am down.
If you have any position needs, I am totally down. I don't know. It's taking a little bit to load. Get out here, ads.
We could probably just find pictures, honestly. Like, what they turn this thing into is incredible.
Yeah. Do this. Back over here. The sphere.
I think we have to type it back in. Yeah, I know.
Google.com. But yeah, no, it was pretty dope. Why is that happening? No. All right. I'll pull it up here in a sec. Go ahead, talk about some more stuff real quick.
Oh yeah, talk about some more stuff. Okay.
So, or talk about the spear.
Talk about the spear. Well, the spear, it's been going through some problems. I mean, it added like another like couple $1 billion to its budget. Like, because like over budget, and like they're trying. The goal was that it was successful in Vegas. They're going to open it in Miami, San Diego, and all kinds of different places. But man, like what they showed in Vegas on 4th of July, I actually thought it was better than the fireworks. The fireworks were tame as hell in Vegas.
Yeah, they were very tame. I was very surprised about that. All right, here we go. Boom. So we got some pictures here.
But this thing just overshadowed the fireworks. Like all the
they had like these little like the USA thing. The craziest thing was at one point it looked like just a burning like ball of fire.
Yeah, and it said "Hello World." Like
there it is right there. Hello World. Yeah, and like the back part of it had like all these like swirling fire fucking things. And then this one was really cool with the American flag going around it and everything. Yeah. Oh god, it's actually it's a pretty dope little thing. Just I still think it was a big waste of money.
Oh, it's Vegas. Of course, it's a big waste of money. That's what we celebrate here. That's our economy.
Yeah, like, no, exactly. Yeah, see, like it was doing these little rings of fire thing going. But yeah, the fireworks were really tamed this year compared to the spear. Like
the spear killed it.
Yeah, no, exactly.
It's like what a way to go from a running punchline to actually being something cool as shit. I wouldn't be surprised if they stop having less problems now, because they've actually been like struggling to get artists to perform there because they don't want to get overshadowed by the visual effects and stuff. But now when they see it's trendy and they see how many people are like, this is cool shit, they might be like, okay, we'll perform there. Like I know Adele turned it down, and like a bunch of other art, yeah, the giant eye and stuff. Yeah, I could just imagine that like someone driving on the road, like there would be the worst time to drive on the road high as balls, and then just see that giant eye appear. It's like, oh,
dude,
shit.
I know a guy last night that was doing shrooms and stuff while for 4th of July and everything, and I was just like, bro, if this guy was there and saw that shit, he would freak out.
He'd probably just go to the cops and turn himself in. Like while he's driving.
You got me.
You got me.
Yeah, exactly. So, but yeah, no, the spear was looking so awesome last night. I could not believe it. The fireworks, I was so underwhelmed on the fireworks side, because usually they go off a lot more. Like I remember last year.
Oh yeah,
was the first year that I ever was having like problems with fireworks ever. You know, being a veteran, because most of the time, whenever I go and you know, like I've been back since like 2010, and I've never had a problem with fireworks and stuff until last year when I was here. And I pretty much think it was because before I wasn't living in a desert.
Yeah.
And now I'm in a desert and being like, oh yeah, last time explosions were going off in a desert, I was in Iraq. You know? So, but yeah, it wasn't. So I did feel like it was a lot more tamer. Nothing really like fucking.
Yeah. I was driving Lyft to Uber on the rides on the strip. I'm like, these fireworks seem pretty tame this year. Like when I was driving underneath them.
Yeah, no, exactly. So maybe the January 1st will be different. And
oh yeah, for 4th of July they go all the fuck out. Like they go all out. Like between them, like South Point does it, Green Valley Ranch. I think South Point does it.
Yeah, I know South Point does it. You know what? That's the one I missed. I did not see South Point's freaking fireworks this year.
Probably because they were drinking with everybody else.
Yeah, right. Because I was downtown for 4th of July pretty much. I went to a pool party and stuff, and then moved that pool party to someone's house pool, and kept eating and drinking. We had some dude from that like just moved into that apartment complex that was like from Texas who was making burgers and hot dogs. Like we didn't know them.
That sounds delicious.
Yeah, they just came up to us afterwards, right? They came up to us afterwards and was just like, yo, you don't want any burgers or hot dogs? We're making some. And this guy actually, the reason he moved here was to like work at one of the restaurants. I can't remember which one. I think it was, I'll have to ask my friend about this again, but I can't remember what restaurant it was, but he was like making burgers and hot dogs and stuff, and he was just like, "Yeah, the burgers are like what I usually would make at this restaurant and shit, and they were so good." But yeah, he was from Texas and stuff, and I was like, the reason I knew he was from Texas because he was wearing a hat that said Lone Star Beer on it, and I immediately was just like, "That's a Texas brand, yes." You're from Texas, aren't you? And he goes, yes. And I was like, same here, San Antonio. Like, it was instant, like, yeah. And was it Kay Banks was there and was just like, why don't you just suck his dick already? And like I was like, dear diary, Kay Banks has once again shown that she's a bitch, you know? Oh my god! But it was a very fun 4th of July, very fun 4th of July. Um, the spirit I do think is gonna be getting more positive publicity now.
Oh yeah.
Compared to the you know what it has gotten.
Oh my God, has it
Right?
gotten? It's gotten
Well,
shit on.
was it you had like U2, you know, like that there were one of the few bands that were like, yeah, okay, we'll do it,
Yeah, it's
and
for the starving children.
right, but at the same time, they were losing money on that concert. They
Oh,
were playing U2 so much that they were still losing money.
they actually haven't started their residency yet. The Spear. It starts right before F1, before Formula One in Vegas. That's when
Yeah.
the Spear opens. That's when they're starting their
But
residency.
they still had to pay them so much
Oh yeah.
that they're gonna be losing money even if they sell out like over and over.
Oh yeah.
You know?
At this point, it's just to show them that they can work. That it can work.
Yeah,
you know,
it can work. No, exactly. It's like a proof of concept kind of thing.
Yeah,
And-
I think they own Tao Hospitality, like who owns the Tao nightclubs and stuff and restaurants, and I think they had to sell those assets off to keep the thing alive, basically.
Yeah, no, dude. I would not be surprised. I would not be surprised. Because there's too many artists that were just like, yeah, no, I don't want to perform there. Why would I want to perform there? We got so many other venues out here that I can perform at, and it would be better, you know?
Yeah, and I wouldn't be overshadowed by visual effects and stuff, you know, which it's like,
Yeah.
but now people are going to be like, this is cool as shit when they see it and stuff.
Oh yeah, no, exactly. But yeah, freaking okay. Let's get into our first thing of the day here. So you did not see any games or know of any games going on, right?
Honestly, I forgot to check. Like, I forgot to check the games that were going on.
Let's
Like,
do this. I'll put in sports games.
all right, let's do this at random without.
Coming up. Okay, let's see here.
Oh, they're just showing all the Raiders ones that are coming up.
Yeah, I know. I'm trying to see.
Type in WNBA. Type in WNBA.
The WNBA is done on.
It is?
I believe so. Yeah. Let's try ESPN. See what's going on here. Yeah, I think they're just getting calendar. Let's. There we go. That's results for July 5th. I want to see that. I want to see upcoming. All right.
This is us figuring out how to navigate the sports internet.
Yeah, right. MLB, let's see that.
Oh, yeah, because they're still going on.
Yeah, MLB, they're still going on. Okay, let's see here. So we got some games here.
All right. And how's the score looking?
Yeah, those are all scores.
Those are current ones. Let's see. Are there any ones that aren't coming up yet?
Yeah, here we go. Blue Jays versus White Sox.
Blue Jays versus White Sox.
Yep, yeah. Later today.
All right, let's make a prediction.
I mean, I haven't heard a lot about Blue Jays, and I grew up as when I did Little League as like I played for the White Sox.
I'll be honest. I'm wearing White Sox right now, so I'm going with that on my prediction for the White Sox to win.
White Sox, all right. Next, we have what the fuck is it? Minnesota
Oh,
versus who?
the Seattle Mariners.
Oh, okay.
I think Mariners might take this one.
All right, Mariners for the one, and that's later today as well. Let's pick another one. How about the Cubs versus who was that? I can't read from
I
here.
can't even read from here. We're gonna have
Oh,
glasses.
I know, man.
Oh, are those? Does it say Brewers?
Oh, it does say Brewers.
Sweet.
Yeah, the
With
Cubs
who-
versus the Brewers. There
Who
we
needs
go.
autism? Like, no. Who needs
Yeah.
glasses when you have autism?
Exactly. All right. So, Cubs versus the Brewers. Who do you think's gonna win?
You know, I really liked Brewster's Millions, but but the Cubs, I know that they got busted cheating signs, and I'm gonna be honest, in sports, if you see from all the roids that baseball players have used, cheaters fucking win. So we're gonna go with the Cubs to beat them because cheaters fucking win.
Yeah. Okay. How about the Athletics versus the Tigers?
Oh, Tigers! Fuck the Athletics. The Oakland A's, like the Oakland A's.
I knew. I was like, let's see what he's gonna say. You know, like, oh god, that's funny.
Oakland A's have just been bombing. Like I mean, they had a good streak run against one team, but they've for the most part been losing almost every game they're trying to make. Which I'm like, and I'm like, why are we demolishing the Tropicana for this shit? You know, it's
Well, clearly because people like to, do things that make them money and screw other people up. That's We've talked about this already, but exactly. It's one of those things where it's just like, like I don't know. I've been getting irritated about stuff like that as like corporations and stuff. Like, was it so? Especially since like this one article I missed, and I'm so surprised I missed it, being like the nerd that I am. So the company Hasbro, right?
Oh yeah, I know Hasbro.
So, they hired a mercenary group to get one of their fucking they accidentally released something early, like a couple weeks early, to a YouTuber on accident, and they sent mercenaries to his house to get it. Yeah. This is a thing that happened back in April.
Man, I guess G.I. Joes aren't just action figures.
Well, yeah, exactly, right? So Hasbro, who owns board games like Monopoly and G.I. Joe, My Little Pony, all that shit, right? They also own Wizards of the Coast, which deals with Dungeons and Dragons and Magic the Gathering. So they released these new Magic the Gathering cards on accident to a YouTuber 2 weeks early. And it's like a YouTuber that does like reviews on Magic Gathering cards and stuff. And they sent mercenaries to his house where he has his wife and kids to get these cards back.
Most shocking thing about that is that the gamer had sex. That's the most interesting thing about what you just told me.
It was one of those weeks where I'm just like, what? Hasbro did what? This doesn't make any fucking sense or anything,
It's definitely more than meets the eye.
Yeah, I'm just down with corporations nowadays.
I mean, My Little Pony. Oh my god, I can like I just remember they had this group. This is off topic, but it's back at FSU that they called them the Bronies. And I'm not sure which one I'm more ashamed of: Hasbro doing that shit right now, or the fact that there was actually a group that got student dollars for Student Life Group, where they had to literally watch Bronies on TV. I could just imagine them going back home and telling their parents, being like, hey, Dad, it's not bestiality, it's just called being a brony or something like that.
It's just called being a brony. Yeah.
Where they just got paid student dollars to watch My Little Pony as part of a student group. They got a budget for this shit.
Jesus Christ, that's so ridiculous.
I'm like, honestly, I think that actually would like, honestly, if a corporation said, "We never let this to happen," that's how bad it is. It would make me pro corporation. If they did that shit.
If a corporation was like, "We're gonna make sure that this will never happen again," and you're like, you know what? All right, corporations, you're back on point.
Yeah. I think we just lost the Brony fan base, but it's like,
oh no,
it's like whatever. We kind of don't want that fan base.
Yeah, exactly. What type of? I don't think we want that fan base. But oh my god, that's ridiculous. So all right, next segment, guys, I have watched a new movie.
Ooh.
Oh, I know, right? Evil Dead Rising.
Yes.
Yes.
Great
So
fucking
good.
movie.
Oh my god, so good. Of course, big time Bruce Campbell fan. So of course I've seen Evil Dead 2, Army of Darkness, the Evil Dead remake. I've seen Ash versus Evil Dead. And now they came out with a new movie, Evil Dead Rising. Now, guys, this doesn't take place in your average cabin in the woods thing that they usually do at all.
Well, at least for the second half of it, not the intro.
Yeah, well, I mean, the intro, like that shows like that's like the day after everything that happens in the movie.
Spoiler alert.
Well, it says one day earlier,
Uh-huh.
you know. And I'm gonna tell you right now, there were things I was catching on that I was like, oh my god, like as an Evil Dead fan. So, one thing is that if you look at the Book of the Dead, the Necronomicon in this one,
Yeah.
it's completely different from the one in the remake, completely.
Yeah.
And I've been looking online after I saw the movie, and they're saying basically like it's confirmed there's more than one Necronomicon. They even said there's 3 in the movie.
Which means they're about to make so much money off a sequel.
Oh no, they got it set up to where there's gonna be a lot more into it. Now, here's the thing that I love is that they have a theory out there because in Army of Darkness, Ash goes to the graveyard to get the Necronomicon, and then there's 3 books. Well, the director has literally said, "Oh, the book that bites his hand, that's the one in this movie." So it's like, oh my God, there's actually 3 books. They're tying it back to the Army of Darkness as well. Like it's a multitude of multiverses that are about to collide. I think that's me personally. Like it is just an amazing movie, hands down. It happens in an apartment complex. First off,
Oh yeah.
and one of the craziest things is it's like there's they actually name one of the creatures from the Necronomicon,
Yeah.
and that's the one that's attacking them. And like you usually never get them. They just usually are like, it's the Deadites, you know, like that's usually how they do. But this time they were like putting more lore into it and stuff. I was really liking that. There was a lot of gruesome scenes, which was just loved it. Like this is one of those movies I would definitely give like a 9 out of 10. 9 out of 10, hands down.
I like that it was gory, but they also got a lot of humor in it more than like the other one. Like the first Evil Dead remake was kind of a little bit too much like the original, in which it was just pure raw horror with no jokes and stuff. Because even when I remember when I saw the original reboot of the Evil Dead, where like my friend was like, "I missed the jokes," because it's like that was fucked up.
Yeah,
like, the scene
well, there's like callbacks to certain things that happen in other movies. Like there's a character that has one of the names of one of the other characters from Evil Dead 2.
Yeah.
And there's a callback to another thing that happened in Evil Dead is
Dead by Dawn.
Yeah, Dead by Dawn. Yeah, that was another callback. And then there's another callback of so you remember in Evil Dead 2 where there's the old lady the monster that's in the basement.
Yeah.
And they're like bouncing on the thing and her eyeball pops out and lands in that other lady's mouth.
Yeah.
There's in Evil Dead Rising, there's a callback to that because one of the Deadites' eyeballs pops out like that and launches across, which is a callback to that in the movie.
Yeah.
So there was one thing that I did think was crazy because like anytime a Deadite like injured anybody in Evil Dead Rising, like it started getting infected. You know, like the evil started infecting them, you know?
Yeah.
Except for the main character.
Yeah.
Which I was like, okay, that's weird.
Because they needed a final girl.
Yeah, I guess so. Because she gets stabbed in the hand with like this shard of glass, and that hand never. It's the same hand that always gets injured in every Evil Dead.
Yeah.
But this time it doesn't get infected. You know, so I did think that was a little bit like it was a little bit of a plot hole.
Especially when blood literally fills the entire elevator. It's like, your hand's getting infected, bitch.
Yeah, come on. You're lying though if it's not happening. So, but yeah, that's so like definitely if you haven't seen it, highly suggest, especially if you're an Evil Dead fan. It is, it's just leaving room for so much
And,
more.
and you caught Bruce Campbell's cameo in it,
Oh
right?
yeah. His voice is in the recording.
Yeah, on the recording,
Yeah,
exactly.
because they're basically saying that Ash is there
Yeah.
when they find the book, and he's like, "Do not read from it. Do
He's like,
not do
it's
this."
called the Book of the Dead for a reason.
Yeah, exactly. So like it's one of those things where you're just like, oh man, like that's what I'm saying. It's like I feel like they're gonna have multiple layers of like a movie going on to where there's different books and stuff. I don't think they're ever gonna bring back Ash himself. But he's gonna be like in like recordings trying to find all three books to
Yeah.
prevent it from anything like that from happening. And they're gonna have him like mentioned in different things. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Because this is like a pure reboot, you know?
Yeah, no, exactly. So I feel like this is all gonna be freaking. There's gonna be like at least two more movies that deal with the other two books, and they might have a fourth movie that like just has all three books.
Oh,
You
that
know
would
what
be
I mean?
awesome.
Yeah. That's one of the reasons I really like this movie, because it sets it up for like a multitude of like a movie series almost.
Yeah.
You know, which is great. I would love to see stuff like that, especially since they got out of the cabin.
Yeah.
Much, you know, like because that's what Evil Dead 2 was supposed to be. Was like it wasn't supposed to be like a remake of the cabin. You know, but they ended up doing that anyway. So I really do like seeing that this is the way they went.
Yeah.
So, guys, like I said, definitely hands down 9 out of 10. It's a great movie. Go see it. Yeah. Like you can check it out. Speaking of movies, did you see on the top 10 movies on Netflix?
Titanic.
Yeah, man. Look, I know we already covered the sub already and the implosion stuff, and it's like beating a dead horse, but I just like to point out that the Titanic's on the top 10. Like, for some weird reason. It's like everybody was like, oh man, this sub got imploded. We want to see the Titanic. Let's watch the Titanic.
Yeah. They wanted to see what happens when you do the Titanic correctly.
Right?
It still fucking sings. It still fucking sings.
Exactly. Oh my god, so crazy. Get out of here, Steam. But yeah, no, so yeah, definitely go see the movie Evil Dead Rising, guys. It's an amazing movie. Next on the agenda, local news of comedy scene. Let's see, we just had another roast battle just end up happening.
Yep.
Seth kept his belt. He battled against Reese. Reese actually dressed up as Seth.
Oh Jesus.
Yeah. So that was this is from from what I heard. I didn't get to actually go see. I was busy.
It was Reese Merritt, right?
Yeah.
All
So but Seth defended his belt. I know that much. Antonio and Trevor James went against each other. I know Antonio won. Kay Banks went up against.
Go Antonio.
I know, right?
Antonio's on a winning streak.
I know, man. I heard Casper and Mark went against each other.
Mark Ass Johnson.
Yeah.
How'd that go?
So far, I've only talked to a couple people, but there wasn't a lot of people being like, "Oh, it was a good roast," because Mark has this problem of like either he's gonna do really good at a roast because he wrote a lot of jokes, or he's gonna do bad at this roast because he's playing a character. And
yeah,
apparently it was the latter of the two.
Damn it.
And yeah, and on top of that, like I didn't hear a lot of good things of Casper's side of the roast either. But again, this is all just third party hearing,
Yeah,
like,
all third party. Neither of us were
yeah,
there.
I was busy dealing with people who hacked my Twitter. So that was
Don't mess with Jake, guys. Don't mess with Jake.
Don't try to hack my stuff. I used to have ethical hacker's license. I will hack you back. I spent all night. Like I had my friend Clifton Simmons from San Antonio, Texas, was in town. He was doing a show in Boulder City. I was gonna go see him do that. I literally was going home from playing pool with Sean Fitzsimmons.
Nice.
You know,
Fitzy's back.
yeah, Fitz is back. And freaking, I was just leaving his place after playing pool at his place, and my buddy hit me up being like, "Oh hey, your Twitter's been hacked, I believe." And he sent me a screenshot, and I was like, "Huh," because I don't really use Twitter, but my buddy Jimmy Brewer does, and he uses it a lot more than me. And he was like, he thought it was weird. I posted like 5 tweets in like the last day. And sure enough, so what ended up happening was someone bought my
When anyone's focused that much on Twitter, there's probably a problem.
yeah, right. The thing is, it's like, okay, so there was like that big leak, you know, or the for Twitter accounts and stuff, where they're
Yeah.
like, oh, sorry. And so basically, what they do is hackers will hack like one of those social media sites, get a bunch of people's passwords, put them on the dark web, and then people can buy their passwords on the dark web. So I guess someone bought mine. They logged in, they started changing everything up, and what I did was I got home, logged in, and I had 2-factor authentication for if you want to like change things like my email and stuff and everything again. So when I changed the password, I was able to be like boop with my phone, you know. So they're not able to change that password or log in anymore. And I changed everything back, but it gave me like, so it tells you when there's new devices that activate it, that you know, access to your account, and it gave me the IP addresses. And when I got the IP addresses, I was like, let's see what happens. So I started DDoSing them, and their network fell. And that was me just testing it on if they have a VPN or not. They don't. Which I was like, so these guys are just hackers and don't really know what they should actually be doing.
Yeah.
And they're in the States. Makes it easier for the FBI to track them down. So basically, I was acting like I wanted to get involved with their business that they were doing. And I made a virtual machine, got them to access that. Then that opened me a path into their network. So then I started accessing their files and getting all this basically like getting evidence, right?
Yeah.
And then after that, I left a file that looked like a folder that said "Open me," and they opened it. It crashed their computer because it wasn't a fucking folder. It was a command prompt, fucking like command file that basically was just like, yeah, shut down repeatedly.
So you played some fireworks with
Yeah,
that?
yeah. I played my own fireworks on Monday, and so I spent all night fucking with these guys instead of like going to see these shows. So I really should have gone to the shows, but I just was. I don't know. I'm a guy who knows technology enough to be like, look, if you start fucking with me on technology, I'm gonna fuck with you back, you know? And I just started messing with them hardcore. I remember I messaged them too because I found their actual Twitter account and was just like, hey, and like, no, I already reported your Twitter account to Twitter about you doing like this very devious shit, and already turned in everything to the FBI, you know, because you can go to ic3.gov and you can make anonymous tips about people doing like scams and hacking and stuff
Nice.
to the FBI. So I did that, and I gave
Damn, you went all out.
Oh yeah, no, exactly. I was like, I know what I'm doing. And at first they asked me if I was okay, and I was like, yeah, I'm fine. I used to do IT security, so like I know what I'm doing. And then they were like, you're not IT, you're a bozo, and then blocked me. Which that's also another like scamming thing where it's just like, yeah, when you start yelling at the other person and blocking them, it's like, yeah, no, I got you. And they're hoping that since they blocked me, that'll be the end of it. Like, no, it's gonna be a lot worse. I've already set the groundwork for it to be a lot worse.
Yeah.
Like, I don't have to do anything right now, and I still I haven't checked today, but I still had access with their network. Yes.
Oh no.
So, and I'm just like, do I don't know. So we'll see. But yeah, no, I did not get to watch anything when it came to like the roast battle or anything like that.
Or Free Zone.
Yeah, or Free Zone or Boulder City. But I really wish I did. I really wish I did. Just so I could like, because the roast sounded like it was really good. Um, I don't know if Chris Kim went up or not. Usually he does. Like he finds somebody, but I think no one wanted to roast battle.
Yeah, I think that's why he was asking me to roast battle.
Oh yeah, that was hilarious. He was just like, "You want a roast battle?" Yeah, the nicest way of you just being like, "No, don't want to do that."
Yeah, I'm just like I'll like me. I just like it's got to be like a certain thing, and that makes me want to do a roast battle and stuff. Like it's got to be like it's either a paid roast battle or it's like just a roast battle where I'm just like, all right, this can like this will like against an opponent who's won previous roast battles
Yeah,
and stuff because like someone who's more experienced, it's like that's someone who I'll roast and stuff.
yeah, exactly.
Gotta be like a special occasion, like that's when I come out to roast.
Yeah, like I got challenged by Trevor James actually.
Oh, nice.
So I'll be going up against him the beginning of next month on the first two. So I'll be doing that. That should be fun. Um, and so he's brought it up to me before, but he wanted to go against Antonio first, and Antonio beat him. So you know what? We'll see how it goes because I beat Antonio. So, but Antonio could have also gotten better. So
Yeah.
who knows?
Antonio has been getting better. I've been seeing
Yeah.
his sets at open mics. He has been getting better.
Oh yeah, nah. And then like, oh, so and then was it my show last Wednesday with Jamal Coleman?
Oh, nice.
So we got a new show that's been being ran by this guy Jamal Coleman.
Saddles and Spurs, right?
Yeah, Saddle and Spurs Saloon, and it's like in North Las Vegas. Real fun show. Real fun show. I'm gonna say that I had like my top 10 best sets. Not like it wasn't my top 10 best show because I've had shows that were like just through the roof where it was like I'm doing a theater and it's like 350 people packed.
Yeah.
Well, this was like, oh, it's a small bar room, but it was just every one of my jokes was hitting. Freaking. I had a couple of quick witty fucking comebacks for some hecklers. Like it was just one of those ones where you're like,
Everything
oh,
clicked. Everything clicked.
Everything clicked. And guys, when you have a show like that, because I know you've had that. When you get off that stage, you're just like, dang, that was good.
Yeah.
That was so good. Like, Jamal said he recorded most of it, but his camera ran out of storage.
Damn.
I know. I was like, dang it. But it did tell me he has the funniest clip he has to sing. I did my master bedroom joke.
Oh yeah, and he came up on stage.
He came up to me on stage as I'm talking about having 3 black roommates, and my only problem is having the master bedroom. Because that's a big problem. As I say, master bedroom, you just see a black dude come up and hand me a beer, and I'm like, thank you. Like, so, and we never acknowledged it. Like, we didn't even realize it until he was like, yo, I'm editing the video, and this is what happened. So it's just like, oh my God, why?
Oh, that would have
man?
been perfect if you had acknowledged that. That would have made it the perfect set.
Exactly. Oh man. All right. So what shows you got coming up?
I've got the Oyo. I'm gonna be hosting for Edwin San Juan this Friday at the 7 p.m. show over at the Oyo Hotel and Casino. So
nice.
That's pretty cool, and I'll just find out if I'm on any more Las Vegas live shows this week or something, because I know that he may or may not be doing double duty. So I'll find out if I'm on. So I did some this previous Monday, but I'll find out. Like I usually find out my schedule like just every week. Just kind of like
Yeah.
But yeah, I got the Oyo coming up, so that's the biggest one I'm focused on right now.
Oh, nice. Yeah. No, I was gonna say. Yeah, I saw Edwin was over at the Oyo this week and everything. So. Yeah, no, that should be good. Yeah, definitely. Hell yeah, man. Glad to see you doing that.
Yeah. How about you, man?
Really, I don't have anything planned. Again, like I said, one of the worst things about like a lot of my bookings is like last minute of like, hey Jake, can you fill in? Sure, no problem, gotcha. I need to reach out more, like be more proactive about reaching out to get on shows.
Oh yeah.
But
Don't tell is hard though. Don't tell Las Vegas.
yeah, so but other than that, yeah, no, I just have the roast battle coming up against Trevor James. And like I had a very busy week last week, so I think I'm just gonna take it easy this week. But
Yeah.
yeah, again, I'll have some more shows coming up, here soon.
Yeah.
But yeah, guys, again, follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Handicapable Podcast or Handicapable Pod on Twitter. Also, you can follow me on Instagram at Jake is Funny, Facebook at Jake is Funny, and you can follow me on Twitter at Jake is Funny1. And you can follow Chris
At Christopher_Waldeck on Instagram.
Yep, that's right, guys. Well, hey, happy Freedom Day, everybody, and 4th of July. And y'all been great. This is us saying goodbye from Handicapable, everybody.